Yeah, I did it. I know this one's my fault, but I still stand by it. I really do. This is the final 2 of our original 6. The first 6 Pokemon we caught in this adventure. They all now rest together in the distortion box. This is definitely my fault. You know, there's nothing to say about it. I'm recording a series. I want it to be entertaining, you know, as much as possible. And I don't like seeing that 1/3 of our team just was basically a complete no-show. You know, I wasn't using them at all because the level limit made them, you know, hard to use because they gained so much more experience than everybody else from, you know, the very beginning. And they hadn't really been able to prove themselves as of late. They had never fought in a gym. I thought this was their time to shine, right? I absolutely love Robert Roman and D'Angelo here, but they fell off the team after a while because of how things were going, and I thought about Byron. I was like, they can do this. Things just went wrong, and he had things that I didn't expect him to have, so I'm at peace with what had happened, and I'm ready to move on. So, Elizabeth and Johnny Mac were added for Fantina, but they were added with the thought process of, hey, they can fight Byron, and they can fight Candice if they absolutely have to. Byron did not go as well as I thought Byron would go with these two. Who's to say Candice is going to be any different? Now, I'm pretty sure these two fight Candice pretty well. I'm pretty sure she has a Abomasnow, maybe Sneasel, Frostlass for sure, and Metacham, I think. So, they don't really do too well against Metacham, I'll tell you. The rest of them, they're pretty good. So, I think we should go ahead and build a pair that can fight Candice, and maybe Volkner as well. So, let's think about that. We got a couple females to move over to the females side, but we have a lot more males than we have females. That is for sure. I'm trying to think, is there anywhere I could get encounters that I haven't gotten yet? There's a couple places. I might go ahead and get all the encounters that I can get up to this point just to balance out the PC a little bit more and then make my decision. I like that a lot. There's not too much. I'm sure there's a couple of underground encounters that I can get, but anything I didn't have access to yet before Byron isn't eligible, but everything I could have had is. So, yeah, let me think about that for a moment, and I'll come back once we're ready to make our decision. Alright, in Twinleaf Town, we get ourselves a Psyduck. The duck Pokemon. If its usual headache worsens, it starts exhibiting odd powers, so it can't remember what it's doing. Let's go ahead and name this Psyduck after Corey Brooks from Big Brother 18, because he sleepwalked a lot, and you forget what you're doing, like Psyduck. For Route 219 and 220, we get a Wingull. The Seagull Pokemon. It makes its nest on steep cliffs, riding updrafts. It soars to great heights. So I absolutely hate Wingull. One of my least favorite Pokemon of all time, so let's name him after one of my least favorite Big Brother players of all time. How about that? Actually, my list doesn't really have anybody on it that I didn't like, so let's just name him after Tommy Bracco from Big Brother 21, because I think he's from Long Island, and Wingull, Pelipper, they got long bills. That's the best I got. And our encounter over at the Fuego Ironworks is a Pachirisu. Alright, Pachirisu is the electric squirrel Pokemon. It stores its own fur balls that crackle with static electricity together with its favorite berries in tree hollows. So I have the perfect name for this thing. As you guys know, I'm naming everybody after players from Big Brother, and the very first season of Big Brother 2, it's the first season of Big Brother as we know it anyways, was way back in the year 9/11 happened. That's how long ago it was. And, Big Brother is a microcosm of our society, so it's all people from different walks of life, all living in a house together, basically, and plotting against each other to win $500,000. So, way back then, people were different. People had different views. Obviously, this is a very horrible thing, but there was a house guest named Kent Blackwelder. He's actually no longer with us. He is the first Big Brother house guest to pass away after being on the show. But he had very strong homophobic views, extremely strong. And, you know, it's inexcusable. But back then, unfortunately, that was pretty commonplace. And there was a gay house guest named Bunky. And what's so great about this season is those two ended up becoming best friends. And they stayed in touch all the way up until Kent died. And I think that's a great story, honestly. And while this is a female Pachirisu, and we're in the Fuego Ironworks, Kent's last name is Blackwelder, which Fuego Ironworks, workers, welding. I thought that would be really cool. There's actually a female welder I could name this Pachirisu after now that I think about it. But I'm going to go with this. I'm not going to name this Pachirisu after Kent, but I'm going to name it after his buddy Bunky. So let's name this Pachirisu Bunky. Alright, over in the Sunlit Cavern, underneath Twinleaf Town, I'm not too sure what I'm going to go for, but we get the TM for Xazor here, which is really cool. Oh man, it makes me think of D'Angelo. Dude, I'm still pretty beat up about that one. You can find Munchlax in here? Yeah, let's do it. My encounter for the Sunlit Cavern is a Munchlax. They're not hard to get anymore. Cool. This took an unbelievable amount of time because I spent a bunch of time trying to find one that was level 39. I finally just threw a quick ball at one that's level 42 and it worked. I'm done. Munchlax is the big eater Pokemon. It wolfs down its weight in food once a day, swallowing it whole with almost no chewing. So I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully this is a male. Yeah, we're going to name this after Josh Martinez from Big Brother 19. He was the big meatball. Everybody called him Meatball, so we're going to name this Munchlax Meatball. I actually met Josh once when I was in Canada. He was doing a meet and greet in Edmonton, and I went and saw him, and it was pretty cool. And here we're at in the Icy Cave, which is pretty cool, underneath of Celestic Town. And apparently you can surf in here. Underneath Celestic Town, in the Icy Cave, my encounter's a snow run. It's not only the correct level, but it's also a female. That's so cool. And Johnny Mac hits level 40, which I absolutely hate that they level up so quick, but it is what it is. What are we naming her? All right, let's name this Snow Run after a girl from Big Brother Canada 2 and Big Brother Canada 5. And she is an incredibly dominant and awesome player in Big Brother, and people refer to her as one of the Ice Queens. At least I do. I think she's awesome. Let's name this Snow Run after Netta Kalantar. Kalantar? Her name's Netta. I'm gonna go with Kalantar? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll go with Kalantar. Kalantar is probably how it's pronounced. Now let's just go with Netta. And the final area I can get an encounter in right now is the Star Gleam Cave. A Chingling! I'm down. We got ourselves a Chingling. Chingling is the bell Pokemon. It emits cries by agitating an orb at the back of its throat, and it moves with flouncing hops. Alright, we're going to go ahead and name this thing after one of the strongest early winners of Big Brother. From Big Brother 4. We're going to name her after June Song, because Chingling and Song, you know, it makes sense. Let's go ahead and name her Song. And with that, we have now caught every single encounter we can have at this point, except for ones on Route 221 and 212, which are only honey trees. Everything else is ineligible at this point. And the Great Marsh, which I can only get a Carnivine or a Marill. And Carnivine's not there right now because it's a binocular Pokemon, so I just decided to wait. So, let's take a look at everybody we have caught so far. We have Corey, a Psyduck with Docile Nature and Damp. Bracco, a Wingull with Rash and Hydration. Bunky, Hasty Nature with Runaway. Meatball the Munchlax with Hasty Nature and Pickup. No leftovers, that's unfortunate. It is Fisher? What? Wait a second. You are what? It is Fisher? You're kidding! I am so glad I caught this thing in a quick ball. The Grand Underground's dangerous. Oh my god! The horrible nature. Okay. We have Netta, a naive Snowrun. It's okay. It's pretty good nature. They're good at speed when they evolve into Frostlass. Uh-huh. And a mild Jingling. Sure. You guys know the Patrick meme where his mouth is like, that's me? Fisher! Munchlax just goes, it's a good nap. Falls back and the ground opens up. Oh my god. Okay. That's messed up, bro. It's actually twisted. Alright, everyone. I have decided on the new pair to replace Robert Roman, RB Barrel, and D'Angelo, our Cricketoon. So, we're getting to the end game. We have very little left. We have Candice, we have Cyrus, and Volkner. That's what we're looking at right now. And I think Elizabeth and Johnny Mac could be Candice. It'd be sketchy, though. Because of Metacham. That's what I'm worried about most. So, I'd like to prep for Candice. I also want to prep for Volkner. But it's easier said than done. Like, if I absolutely had to, I think Johnny Mac and Elizabeth can fight Volkner. I think that would be their job. So, and I don't even want to think about the Elite Four right now. I don't even know where to begin. I just hope the 6 I have when we get there is good. So, we have less females than males by a little bit. So I took a look at our females box first. Candice is the main priority. I would love to use Hamza. I think Piloswine and Mamoswine would be so cool to use at this point. Doesn't resist ice. It's just neutral. And I don't know. I don't think this is the time for Hamza, unfortunately. There's really nobody in the females box that's good for me to use right now, other than Chada or Scyther. So we can get Scizor immediately with Technician, Bullet Punch. Steel's great against ice. That's our answer for Candice right there. And there's only a single Pokemon in the males box that complements Scizor well and is good for Candice. I'd love to use Howie. I still would love to use Howie. He covers Chada's only weakness in fire once she is evolved. But adding a water type when the ice gem's coming up, the move Freeze Dry exists. It's an ice type attack that's super effective on water types. That's too big of a risk. I mean, he could be who I need to fight Metacham with and then let Chada take care of the rest, but I think that's too big of a risk. I really do. I'd like to have a water type, but I just don't think Howie's the right option right now. I heavily considered Arven or Rhyhorn. I know that sounds ridiculous. Using a ground type for the ice type gym. He's also a rock type. He's super effective against ice. And while he's slow, he'll have the ability Solid Rock, which reduces super effective moves by 25%. So they wouldn't do as much as they would normally do. And I wouldn't be using him as the main fighter. He would just be backup. And he would be good for Volkner. That was the main reason. But for some reason, Diamond and Pearl said, new evolutions, post-game. You can't get the Protector until the post-game. And I also considered Brain or Duskull for Metacham specifically. Can't get the Reaper Cloth. So, until the post-game, mind you. It's not even in the same spot it is in Platinum. It's not even just post-Candice. It's post-game. Well, it's post-game. So, those two are out. I heavily considered Maki or Krogunk. I know we already have a poison type with Elizabeth, but fighting's good against ice, and I always wanted to use a Toxicroak. But because he has the ability Dry Skin, he's essentially weak to fire, which is the only weakness that Chada or Scizor will have. So it just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to add Kiefer, even though Sandstream would be nice with Scizor, complement each other. Covers the fire type weakness. I'm not adding a Pokemon to my team for the Ice Gym that's weak to Ice, unless it had Solid Rock. So even then, it was a dumb idea, but it was something I considered. I toyed with it. Could add Meatball. I know he is level 42, so I couldn't even use him until we get to Candice, which is... Oh, actually, I can't. I can't even evolve him, so... No, I couldn't. He has a lot of special defense, though, as a Snorlax, so I thought maybe it'd be good. But there's only one Pokemon I can add here, and that's Elisar Ponyta. They complement each other perfectly. He's immune to fire, which is the only weakness that Scizor has. I kind of have to. I'm going to add our Scyther Chada and our Ponyta Ellis as the new pair. Scizor and Rapidash will have immediately, pretty much. They're going to be really powerful. I'm thinking they're a really strong pair. I'm trying to think if they could really handle Cyrus. That's another problem I'm concerned about. I don't think they handle Cyrus too well. Donnie and Levita don't really handle Cyrus too well either. Donnie pretty much would have to do Cyrus by himself, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, we need to get Chada and Ellis all trained up. First things first, I need to steal a Metal Coat from Bronzor, and Chada's gonna get her very own Metal Coat by herself. That didn't take long at all. Nice work, Chada. I decided it's time for a new style. We are starting a new era with Robert Roman and D'Angelo gone, so once Chada and Ellis are all trained up, I say we rock a new look and head north. Look at us, we are stylish. Alright, luckily I was able to get my friend David to help me evolve Chada, our Scyther. And what's really cool is he happened to have a Metal Coat of his own. So I went ahead and gave him Chada, and I helped him evolve his Rhydon into Rhyperior, and then I attached my Metal Coat to his Rhyperior. So I will get to see Chada evolve on my screen. And what's this? Chada, our Scyther, is evolving. Look at her now. She's going to be a beast. Chada the Scizor. Oh man, Scizor is going to be really, really good. And we get Bullet Punch upon evolution, which is huge. I will definitely teach Bullet Punch over Thief. I don't think we're going to need it anymore. The new pair is all trained up, and my team is ready to go. But before we can head north, we gotta explore Lake Valor and stop Team Galactic. But take a look at the team. We got our little cowboy Ponyta all the way up to level 39. Very close to evolving at level 40. And Chada's level 39 as well, holding the wide lens. And I am pretty stoked for these two. I have a lot of really good strategies and things planned for these two, and I can't wait to bring them to their full potential. I did a lot of training on the two that give you a lot of money with the amulet coin, and I bought a ton of vitamins and juiced my team up to the max. Not the max, they're not all the way up there. As you can see, these guys aren't, but Cowboy and Chada are both maxed out in the EV department now, which is really cool. Nice little even spread. I don't like specifically EV training, but I like to get a good spread of what I know I'll be using, so I think that's the best thing for us here. And to get Cowboy and Chada up to the level that they're at, I went back and did absolutely everything we've skipped over so far, except for Iron Island. Surfing, everything is taken care of, except for Iron Island. And one thing I've noticed about these two is while I think Cowboy and Chada are going to be really solid together, I'm very worried about them against Gyarados. They don't fight Gyarados well at all. Things almost went very wrong against a trainer with a Gyarados, so I ended up bringing Donnie out for a couple of the trainers in the water routes. But that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind. They don't really have any way to fight water types, which is a bad thing. Ellis could get Solar Beam, I guess, even though I trained him more so to be a physical attacker. He has some pretty good special attack EVs, though. just for Flamethrower specifically. But that doesn't really solve Gyarados. When he evolves, he will get access to Poison Jab, which is basically the only move I'm going to have to fight Gyarados. So I really hope they never run into a Gyarados. I'm not really sure when I'm going to be able to squeeze Iron Island into here. I'd like to do it this episode, but the first thing we need to do is get to Candice ASAP and take care of those gym trainers, as we have been. Because once that's done, if everybody's not level 42, then we can go ahead and explore a little bit of Iron Island. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We're already pretty close to 42, and we got a long, snowy road ahead of us. And some Team Galactic members, so that's exciting. And with that, Cowboy hits level 40, as well as Elizabeth. And at level 40, it's a very special day for Ponyta. What? Our Ellis, our little cowboy, is evolving! Well, I ended up getting to use a Rapidash in Sinnoh after all. This is for you, Fahrenheit. Alright, that's a long time ago, isn't it? Cowboy is now a Rapidash. And Rapidash is the Fire Horse Pokemon. Shocking. It gallops at nearly 150 miles per hour with its mane blazing ferociously. It races as if it were an arrow. Alright, and we get to move Smart Strike, which is really interesting. Very few Pokemon get the move Smart Strike. And while I'll teach it right now, I'm going to replace it with Poison Jab, probably. Because it doesn't really matter. I'll have Steel coverage with Chata. And Poison Jab does everything Smart Strike does, except could miss, possibly. Since Smart Strike never misses. But I just think Poison Jab is just better coverage move overall. Look at Cowboy now. 106 attack, 97 special attack. Horrible special defense, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's going to be really good. So I actually ran into a very interesting glitch or bug, whatever you want to call it, when Chata evolved. So when I traded my Scyther to be evolved, obviously, once she did evolve, she tried to learn the move Bullet Punch. And I don't know if this is documented anywhere or not. I just thought I'd point it out. I thought I made a mistake, alright? I thought I just accidentally didn't, teach it and thought I did. Because after the trade sequence, I still had Thief. Bullet Punch was not on my moveset. So I looked back through the footage. And believe it or not, I did teach it. So apparently there's a glitch with teaching moves upon evolution through trading or something. I don't know. But I had to waste a heart skill for that. And it made me sad. And then I ended up getting rid of Bullet Punch anyways. So very unfortunate times for me. But I just don't know if that's been documented yet. But I figure I'd talk about it. But one thing I'm very excited for with Chata and Cowboy here is the fact that our Scyther had the egg move Baton Pass, as you'll see. And that's huge. That's very massive. Let's talk about X-Scissor really quick. I'm thinking about keeping Fury Cutter. With the wide lens, it'll be 60 power on the first one instead of 80, but then the second one will be stronger than X-Scissor. So I think Fury Cutter is better in the long run here because of Technician. I can always reteach X-Scissor with the TM, so I'm going to go ahead and keep Fury Cutter for now. But by having Swords Dance, it's a absolute game changer because Ellis gets stuff like Flame Charge, and I think it would be very powerful to Swords Dance. Maybe even Iron Defense, Baton Pass, and then Flame Charge. Big speed, big attack, big defense. Cowboy could be actually unstoppable with that strategy, and I'm thinking if I play my cards right, they could be a force to be reckoned with in the Pokemon League. I obviously don't know what to expect with the Pokemon League in these games, but I can't really imagine the AI having much to do against that if I'm able to have a target to set up against properly. And with Chata only having one weakness in fire, and Cowboy being immune to fire, and only having a couple of weaknesses himself, I think this could be deadly. So I'm afraid of this guy. He hurt me in my past. I'm very afraid of him. But there shouldn't be anything that could possibly go wrong. Right? Let me rethink this for a second. I was like, Donnie's got this, but I'm like, wait, Donnie's weak to poison, dummy. You know what? It's extremely likely that Donnie just gets O-code by a poison jab. Like, psychic, you know, Golbat, psychic, everything, basically. But I'm kind of concerned that he doesn't outspeed Toxicroak, and then Levita's in grave danger. I think let's rethink this one. Let's do it with Ellis and Chado. Why not? Sure. Let's try the new strategy I talked about. Let's give you, like, a person berry or something. Can't really imagine anything else happening to you in this fight. So yeah, let's try our new strategy. How about that? The mission is proceeding without a hitch. The boss should be pleased. Everything is for everyone and for the good of Team Galactic. You sicken me. I recognize your face. It looks like a Chatot. I hate that Pokemon. You're the child who raided Team Galactic in Eterna City. That stupid kid asking for a Buizel. It sickens me. As a Chatot, I should kill it one day. Oh, the real ones would know. All right. Time for another Team Galactic Commander versus Jupiter. Hopefully, my strategy wasn't stupider. I'm sorry. Okay, Kadabra. Okay, I didn't expect that at all. What? He has a Kadabra in Diamond and Pearl? Okay, that's fine, right? Yeah, it's not gonna have a fire type attack. Watch it have Fire Punch. I kind of giggle because I know I'd be safe. But yeah, sure. I know Fury Cutter is what I should do here, but like, yeah, I'm gonna use Fury Cutter actually. Right. I'm now sad because I shouldn't do this strategy, right? Just take the Kadabra out. Don't be dumb. Oh no! It's using Reflect. You gotta be kidding me. Please, it won't. Yeah, it's still gonna kill. Of course it would. It's a Kadabra. What are you talking about? Bro, he didn't just do that. No! Well, I mean, I do have Flamethrower, you're right. I should just go for it, huh? Yeah, I'll just do it normally. Fine. Jeez, I was gonna do cool stuff. It's not gonna have a ground type attack. It's not gonna have a water type attack. You're fine. Flamethrower this thing for me, cowboy. That's tough. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Revenge. Okay, that's gonna do a lot. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Wait, would that have killed me with a critical hit? It did 60 damage, so it would have done 90? No, I would have been fine. Alright, that would have been pretty close. Scabby. Ooh, Sucker Punch especially. I'll be fine though. Okay, yeah. If it did crit me, I think I could lose Cowboy there. No, I just would have switched to, like, that would have been unnecessary heartache in my chest. I don't need it. And Bronzor, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just stay. Kadabra. He deserves a Kadabra. That's what they said. It's just like, Golbat. Predictable. Alright, that's it for Jupiter. It's not Jupiter, dumbass! It's Saturn! Listen, I forgot, okay? Why did I think this guy was Jupiter? Now the pun is so much sadder. Listen, I just trained for a long time. I don't want to hear it. Saturn. You're so stupid. I'm afraid of this guy. I am scared of what he did to me in my past. How dare it? I couldn't even remember the guy's name. Honey, I'm home. I love how the idle animation is just like, oh, like you're praising whatever's in front of you. Oh, thank you, mother, for the feast. Oh, look at her. Oh, Andy's not home, Amanda. I'm not here for Andy. What's up, old dude? Yeah, what timing indeed. It's almost like I knew I had to come here. Step aside, dude. Oh, wait, yeah, wait, what did he say? What's with this old timer? Dude, did Rowan drop the hammer? Was he like, out of my way, knock this grunt on his butt? It's funny. I'm gonna do a double battle because I'm like to live dangerously. Let's do it. I feel invincible. No, I do feel pretty powerful. This team is pretty strong. And I got J-Mac. J-Mac Daddy. All right, never say that again. You're going to lose all your credit. J-Mac. He attack, you know? Look at him. He's so cool. Oh, I absolutely love it. I have a Pokemon named Johnny Mac. He's just like there. He's like, my name's Johnny Mac, you know? All right. Wait, oh, no. Surf hits everybody, dummy. Wait a second. It's not supposed to. They really said 1-to-1. No shot. Surf doesn't hit all in Gen 8, does it? They took that out. I'm almost certain. Or did they add it in? I might have it mixed up. No, Surf definitely hits all in Emerald. I know that. I thought they took that out. They forgot a Silcoon. I just beat the 6th gym! Yeah, if it wasn't a Glameow, I kind of would have shit myself, I'll be honest. Retaliate, though? That's kind of cool. They really said Retaliate's the play. 1-to-1, but Retaliate. Okay, J-Mac, level now, 41. I like it. I don't like it, actually. He's over-leveled. Bro, I can't get ahead. I mean, I'll be able to get ahead now because we've got the level limit after this is, I hope, pretty high. You know, it's high, but like how high? Let's do another double battle. Like, honestly, how bad could it be? You know, this guy said he'll knock my Pokemon into orbit. How funny would it be to just fight this guy with a team full of Cleffa? And he'd be like, he's actually a nice guy. He just wants to send him home. Aerial Ace! That's funny. If only it wasn't a Glameow. The cats, they're coming for me. I'm so scared. I'm shaking in my boots. I don't have anybody with fighting type attacks. That's kind of interesting. Fighting is just so common and it's so good. Let's try the strategy again. I never got to do it. All right, what's up, Mars? Oh, she's like, oh, it's you again. This is the same face. All right, anyways, yeah, Mars. Wait, why does it say question mark, question mark, question mark? I fought her! Don't remember her? How would you forget? I mean, okay, that's fair. Yeah, a little game of hero. It's a big game of hero. It's called winner, and you're called loser. Okay, Kadabra? Whatever. This is what I mean, okay, I get it. That's what I would have expected. But then they were like, Saturn's got a Kadabra. I don't understand the difference. Whatever. Now I don't have my Persimberry. I swear to God. I'm not going to use Swords Dance. I'm going to use it. Okay, it just used Bite. I'm scared. I'm shaking. Oh, stop. It's not funny. Go back and pull out Lava Bloom or something. You gotta think of all the scenarios. I'm not using another one. Wait, but if it uses Confuse Ray, it's still gonna confuse Cowboy. This is fine. It's fine. Watch it plunge me. Good, alright. Chata, baton pass. Alright, this is completely unnecessary. I understand. Am I doing something a little stupid? I don't think so. I'm just showcasing the strategy, finessing good old Mars here, and then everybody's gonna be like, wow, it's a pretty good strategy. He's gonna beat the Elite Four with it. It's possible. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I got some stuff to do before the Elite Four. But now you use Flame Charge, see? And you get some speed, so nothing's gonna outspeed me. Was that a necessary move? No, I shouldn't have used that. I'm gonna get poisoned now, aren't I? God damn it. Figures. Bro, that's actually really bad, you dummy. No, it's fine. I've made an error. Flame Charge isn't exactly powerful. Okay, I'm gonna just take a little bit. What do I do? I guess I gotta fight Perugly with Chada. But Chada doesn't have the attack boost anymore. Dummy. Everybody's already level 41, and I haven't even left for Snowpoint yet. Why? It's crazy. Petal Blizzard. Finally, we get rid of Solar Beam. It was nice knowing you while you were here. But look, our Cherrim's attack stat is almost the same as the special attack. 90 power, and we get Sword Stance. Which, has Sword Stance benefited me in this playthrough? It's failed to show me that's the case. But it will benefit me, I promise. Okay, I'm slightly concerned. This is badly poisoning. I'm nervous. Please be Bronzor. It's Perugly. I have to leave now. I made a mistake, okay? I don't want to be punished for my mistake. I mean, it's just Perugly. How bad could it be? It's like, I heard you talking about my Glameow. Oh no! It's all fun and games until it does 23 damage. Oh, it's tough life to be a Perugly. Oh, it's got a citrus berry too. It's like, let me snack real quick. I'm not gonna win, I might as well have fun. Flamethrower. No, we're good. It's fine. Everything's fine! What could possibly go wrong against Mars? See? I told you! Into the cold of Route 16. Time to get to Candice. It is mission Candice. No trainers, Candice. Alright, my encounter for this route is going to be a Snover. Snover is the Frost Tree Pokemon. It lives on snowy mountains, having had little contact with humans. It is boldly inquisitive. I'll think of a Big Brother player for this guy. Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and name this Snover after this girl. So, this girl from Big Brother 18, her name is Michelle Meyer, but everybody called her Big Meech. So we're gonna name Snover Big Meech. Alright, we've got Big Meech. What's up, girl? She's bashful. Sure she is. Alright, we got a snow warning Snover. That's kind of all it can have, I'm pretty sure. It is a blizzard. It actually looks really cool. And like my clothes glow. That's awesome. I don't think I can avoid this guy. I know he has an Electabuzz and a Magmar in Platinum. Not sure about here. We'll use Johnny Mac and Elizabeth. Cold is nothing compared to the fire that burns in his heart, and the snow stops when we get close to him, so he must be pretty warm. Ace Trainer Dalton. Alright, what do you have, my guy? He's got a Raichu, okay. Ace Trainers are scary. If this is like appropriate levels, this guy could actually be kind of threatening. He's got a Raichu. What level is it? 34. I mean, it could be better. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did teach Surf to Johnny Mac. I should have done that a while ago. It's going to use Agility. I mean, I don't exactly believe, Dalton, that Raichu was going to struggle in the speed department against these two, but that's fine. I was going to knock off because they have less defense, but I don't want to get paralyzed with static. I think that would be a horrible thing. He's just going to go ahead and use Agility twice. I don't exactly know what to tell you, Dalton. Does not make much sense. And Johnny Mac's at level 42. Man, I either change the level limit by like 1, or I don't fight any of Candice's gym trainers. I hate to see that, but I don't think I have much of a choice. And Pelipper, which I also don't have much of a choice. We have to fight... Dude, is he Weather Guy? Drizzle? No, okay, I was gonna say. So in Diamond and Pearl, Rock Climb should just be like sitting on the ground somewhere, if I remember correctly, unless they changed that. Isn't this it? Oh no, it's TM07 Hail. Okay, where's Rock Climb? Does he just give it to you? Oh no, I was right. It's this one. It's by his house. Yeah, TM100 Rock Climb. Okay. No Confide then. And now we can use Rock Climb outside of battle after we beat Candice. Okay. Did they change Rock Climb at all? Is it gonna be useful? 90 power. That's not bad, but that accuracy is just so sad. That's like the best normal type attack that Johnny Mac's gonna be able to get, but too risky. If I remember correctly, she has a Curlia in Platinum, and I think her name is Olivia, but I know that if it's correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Ace Trainer Olivia. It's not me calling her name, I just know it. It is in Platinum. Yeah, it's Olivia. I thought so. The things you remember, right? Isn't that crazy what the mind does? You play Pokemon so much. You play Pokemon all the time. You play the games over and over and so much that you remember what trainers are named. It's ridiculous. Oh, my encounter for Route 217 is an Octal. That works out perfect. I was like, well, I probably am not going to find this thing. It's only a 10%. And I was just going to give up on it and go to the next area and get a Sneasel. But I guess we get Noctowl here and then Sneasel in the Acuity Lakefront. Noctowl is the owl Pokemon. Its eyes are special. They can pick out objects as long as there is the tiniest amount of light. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Noctowl after... Yeah, I'm thinking. So I'm naming everybody after players that have played Big Brother. But there is a stuffed animal in Big Brother that house gets carried around a couple of seasons. It might just have been one season, I don't remember. He's not very important or anything, but his name is Orwell. So I could name Noctowl after Orwell. Like, it's not an actual player, but it still fits the theme, kind of. Or I could name him after the guy that is most known for carrying Orwell around. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's go ahead and name Noctowl after Cliff Hogg. So, could name him Clifford, could name him Hogg. He's Clifford Hogg the Third, actually. So, what do we want? Cliff? I'm just going to name him Cliff. Sneasel is the Sharp Claw Pokemon. It feeds on eggs stolen from nests. Its sharply hooked claws rip vulnerable spots on prey. I'm not really sure what to name Sneasel after. I'm going to name this after a girl, I think. I think this works fine. Yeah, this is fine. So this is a male Sneasel, but I'm going to name him after Rachel Swindler from Big Brother 20. I just think Swindler would be a really good name for a Sneasel. I like Rachel a lot, and I think this name is a good fit. And, oh, he has a Quick Claw. Very cool. Calm nature. Unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I'm kind of used to it at this point. Oh, I didn't know this. In Diamond and Pearl, I didn't remember anyways. There isn't a rock climb spot here. It's just Team Galactic standing in front of the lake. Huh. And here we are at last. Snowpoint City. So we didn't have to fight too many trainers. We will go back and fight them all once we get the opportunity to do so. But first, we have to fight Candice. Unfortunately, I can't fight all of the gym trainers. It would be impossible. Not everybody's at the limit yet. We still have Donnie and Levita, but they are very, very close, as you can see. So I probably fight one gym trainer, and then we just fight, Candice. I don't know if I've said Fantina. Who knows? All right, here we are in the Snowpoint City Gym. It looks awesome. I love this puzzle, but I am nervous because I can't really fight anybody in here. So I need to get to Candice without fighting anybody. But I can fight one trainer to get Donnie and Levita to 42. So I actually took the liberty of looking up all these trainers because my rule is to fight everybody. But I obviously can't because of the level limit. I think the level limit's more important than fighting these trainers because I can't rematch them, after the fact like I can with the trainers that I skipped coming here. So I did it with Fantina's gym. It's just how it's going to have to be. But none of these trainers are particularly, threatening. There's a girl that has a Steelix, I guess. Their moves don't seem that threatening. I don't really think I'm missing out on too much here. So I have the pair I want to do this fight with at the front and all set up. And there's nothing left for me to do now other than talk to Candice and get this level limit broken. I'm nervous because I'm really worried about a couple of things here in this fight. I don't remember what she has. I'm pretty certain she leads with a Bomb of Snow. She might have a Sneasel. She's got a Medicham, and then Frostlass as her ace. I've gotten my leading pair as good as they should be for this fight, I think. And there's nothing left for me to do now other than talk to her and get this show started. Worst case is something goes horribly wrong, but I'm not going to be using Donnie and Levita in this fight, so it's fine that they're just barely at 42. They should hit 42 after I knock out the first Pokemon. So, with that being said, unfortunately I have to skip all the gym trainers, but let's do this. It's already time for the 7th gym. Actually incredible. It's wild. Alright, let's do it. Bring it on, Candice. It's all about focus, remember? You want to challenge Candice? Sure thing, I was waiting for someone tough. But I should tell you, I'm tough because I know how to focus. Pokemon, fashion, romance, it's all about focus. I'll show you what I mean. Let's do it. All right, time for the 7th gym leader of this blind hardcore wedlock challenge of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond versus gym leader Candice. And first up is a Snover. Okay, well, I need your help. Chada, let's do this. I know you can. All right, you guys just joined the team. This is your purpose, fighting Candice. Hopefully it goes as clean as possible, because after what went down at Byron's, I'd like to move on a little smoother than this time. All right, Snover's level 38. It's an ice and grass type, and I'm gonna have Chada Swords Dance on up. Let's do it. Play with some swords and Swords Dance. It's pretty similar to how we started Byron, but hopefully it works out this time. All right, Snover. Avalanche. Okay, that's fine. That's not gonna do very much damage at all, but the hail is gonna start picking up speed, and that was a crit, which is hilarious to me. I'm really not concerned. So there's a couple ways I can shake this fight. I'm really worried about the hail because of Frostlass. It has the ability Snow Cloak, most likely, which means in hail, it'll make my accuracy quite low. And if that makes it so I miss, and that's the difference maker, I'm going to beat myself up over it. But since she's leading with Snover, a part of me feels like she's going to still have Abomasnow. Meaning, there's really no point in baton passing out to put up Sunny Day with Cowboy, because it's just going to get resummoned with Snow Warning again. So I think I'm just going to Fury Cutter and take Snover on out. All right, Chada, Fury Cutter. You're not holding the wide lens anymore, so I really, really hope you don't miss this 5%. All right, Donnie's going to hit level 42, so he's now at the limit, but that limit is done and gone now that the fight has started, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And we're going to continue taking Hailstorm damage, which is really painful. And Sneasel's going to be up next. Okay, she does have a Sneasel. I see no reason to not stay in. All right, Sneasel's up next. Dark Ice type, level 38. Chada, Fury Cutter. What? It has Dig? Why? That's... Fury Cutter is reset now. That's really unfortunate. It has Dig. That's so stupid. I'm not worried about it, but it's annoying. Oh well, Fury Cutter's reset. Dig's gonna hit. Did a good amount, but it's gonna activate our Citrus Berry, which is very useful. It's gonna basically put us back where we were when Sneasel hit the field. And Fury Cutter should still take it out regardless. We're +2 attack, and it has, like, no defense. So that's it for Sneasel. Okay. Fury Cutter is not where I wanted it to be, but that's fine. Levita should... No, 42. That's fine. Okay. Metachan, probably. Alright, so this is a little scary for me here. So, my biggest concern with Metacham here is that it would have Fire Punch. But if that was the case, she probably sends it in next, instead of Sneasel. So that fear is lifted. My biggest concern in this fight is this thing having a bulk up. I'm not sure if I'm going to deal enough damage. And Chada is pretty weak right now. I mean, I'm not going to switch. I would Baton Pass. But if I Baton Pass and it bulks up, Flame Charge is my really only option, and that's not very powerful. So, one Swords Dance I don't feel like is enough. I feel like Chada needs to do a little bit more battling, and I just really hope that she does not miss another Fury Cutter. Alright, Metacham, level 40. I'm really worried it is Fire Punch, but I'm going to use my head. All logic states that if it had Fire Punch, Sneasel would not have been out second. So, Brick Break, okay. That is shocking. Alright, Metacham's dead. Jesus Christ. I didn't think that we would be outsped. Alright, Levita's level 42. We should be fine with the hail. Yes, okay. A little panicking. And her final Pokemon is Abomasnow. Chada, you proved yourself more than capable in this fight. Your time here is done. Let's do this, Cowboy! Alright, let's do it, buddy. Her final Pokemon and her ace is Abomasnow. No Frostlass. Huh, that's news to me. But it's very good news. That's it. Akaberry? I'm guessing? No? Huh. That's it for Candice. Alright. I'll take it. I can't believe it doesn't have an Akaberry. I have the trainer list pulled up, like I mentioned. What does she have? It is a citrus berry. Sneasel has a choppleberry. Huh. Okay. And Medicham has an expert belt. And Snover has the icy rock. That's kind of cool. Alright, that's it for Candice. You know, they did what they needed to do. It was almost close. Brick Break would have killed if it crit. I don't like the thought of that. But it's fine. It didn't. It's over. And we get the Icicle badge from Candice. There we go. 7 down. Only 1 to go. I can't believe it. And the level limit is lifted. It's going to be like 47 now, which is still really tight. But I'm fine with adjusting that one if I have to. And there's not too much to do in between now and Volkner, I don't think. But if I have to adjust that one because it gets a little too tight, I will, and I'll make it like 48, and it'll just keep going up until everything's fine, because like it doesn't really matter. If Volkner's not going to be that big of a difference, we're just 1 or 2 levels. But that's it for Candice. Okay. And we get the TM for Avalanche. Should be anyways. Yeah, cool. I'm stoked. That's it for Candice, huh? Abomasnow has Earthquake! Oh my god! Okay, I mean, I don't know what I expected. Medicham has Ice Punch, but no Fire Punch. They should have played around Scizor. Dude, imagine if it had Fire Punch. That'd have been a yikes. Alright. Time to start the 2-parter for Team Galactic after we clean up the stuff that we passed by.